Good morning. Good morning. It is 6:31. It is December 24th. It is going to be Christmas Eve tonight. Hopefully, everyone's got a nice setup waiting for them later with their friends and family. If you celebrate the holiday, and guess what? Wednesday is Hanukkah. Everyone's got something to celebrate, and Kwanzaa too. My name is Scott Redler. I'm the Chief Strategic Officer at T3Live.com. Welcome to the 630 Club. One of the last few of 2024. I've been doing this since the pandemic, when the world seemed like it was going to fall apart, and all of a sudden, I was sitting in my Short Hills office all by myself with my suitcase, my sleeping bag, and a bottle of wine, and all of a sudden, martial law was created, and I was like, hey, let me just give everyone some clues on that. That you want to buy the dip all year long, because I survived the financial crisis in 2007-8, and by 2012, we were at all-time highs. So it's the way to do it. Anyway, it took only 9 months then, and here we are 4 or 5 years later, and it's it's been going really well. I've been adding value to people's lives around the world, and we're going to continue to evolve and change and keep moving on. Anyway, with that being said, a lot of people are like, hey, Red Dog, did we start the Christmas rally? Christmas. What movie was that? I think that was some 80s movie. Well, these are the 7 days that they say. So, to me, futures are up like 7-8 handles. I feel like we've had a methodical move. Like, you can't be upset thinking that this was predatory or anything. You had the break that happened on Fed Day to give everyone a little bit of a brush back and keep everyone honest that, hey, markets can go down if there's a real reason for it. And a lot of people have lots of reasons for it. Some think interest rates, some think inflation, some think we're overvalued, some think, well, the wars. Either way, I'll look at the price action, and this kind of, shook things up. And if you reduced risk when we broke 602, or when we did this little small red dog reversal, on Friday when we were down huge, you had an opportunity to buy the dip and sell some. And then even yesterday, we made a higher low and we stopped right here. So now the question is, on 12/24 with a half day today, we're off on Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday into the end of the year, are we going to kind of push back up, back towards this broken trend line? Are we going to, put in a lower high here? And in order to do so, what do we have to do? We have to get above and stay above 595.75. So this is an important level. This is kind of the battleground for today. We were a little bit above it, and now we're up about 70 cents or so. Qs continue to be a source of relative strength. It also gave you a way to get out, broke below 534. That was your spot to say, hey, I better be careful. We're pretty elevated from the 8-day. And then you had a way to buy some things back on Friday at a lower level once we reclaimed Thursday's low. You had a stop here. We held the 50-day, and then a little inside action yesterday. There aren't like huge setups out there where stocks are making higher highs, getting 52-week breakouts. We're getting these range trades, but range trades are fine. Range trades, you can make a lot of money. And as long as you're prepared and your mind is right and you're at your desk and you're making this as if it's not a holiday, it's a business today, you could do really well. Some think that small caps might be able to play a little bit of catch up. You can look at them. You have this lower level pivot. If you're in the IW1 versus 218, maybe it pops back to 224. You can even maybe see, these other levels. I like to map out levels to figure out where things could go, perhaps. And then this is like the week that like some things move around, like the little ones. Sometimes you get these January effect names. I put together a January effect list that I started buying a week or so ago. And some things are working and some things aren't, but that's the way it usually works. That's why you have a few of them if you can handle it. Let me say hello to some of my dogs around the world before we continue. So I'm not sure if these guys are on YouTube or they're on Twitter, but you got Eek asking about Bitcoin. Yeah, you're getting a little bit of a bounce. Hard with rates ripping. That's true for small caps. I agree. That's why I'm not really focused on the small caps. Greetings from Amsterdam. You know what? I've never been to Amsterdam. I've been to a lot of places. I've never been to Amsterdam, but maybe soon. What's up, Pennsylvania? How you doing? We got I can't even say any name. I don't want to screw it up. What up? What up, Space Specialist? I've been seeing you all year. I've had an amazing year, better than your IT salary. That's cool. I didn't even realize that you were, So it's what's cool about the market is, it could be a very profitable hobby, or it could be a very expensive hobby. I try and help you guys put together the framework so it could be a very profitable hobby or a profitable career or a bunch of things. That's why I have all these different parts of what I do in the course of a day. Some people want to start with me at 4:30 in the morning, and some people want to trade during the day. Some people just want some thoughts. Some people want to know where the action is. Some people want to hang out with me in the sauna and the ice barrel. There's a lot of different ways to grab a little piece of the Red Dog and figure out how it could add value to your day, and there'll be more of that to come. So anyway, yes, someone's like, Red Dog, I can't believe finally after 17 years you had a little follow through in Tilray. I'm like, well, this isn't a focus. I did buy a bunch of $2 calls and 250 calls for January for the January effect, and it's having to move up. It could probably get up towards here or more. It was just one of those names that have been absolutely battered and bruised. So sometimes those type of names get a nice little move during a holiday week and some volume came in. This is what we call a day one. Day one move above a little range. It wakes it up. You had day two, and now you're having another day up. That's pretty cool. For those of you who were in Rumble with me, it was a rumble in the jungle. Anyway, check out November 11th. That's when somebody told the world that Rumble was going to start being stockholder friendly, and boy, was it. I still have a small amount of calls left. I posted this chart many times, and we started buying in here, and I had the $7 calls that I think we bought for 70 cents. I got rid of some for $4 yesterday, so that was cool. Rumble's a great product. A lot of people talk and give their ideas, kind of like the podcast world where people don't have to be in the media and have a bias, right? They could be themselves. Guess what? The bias is on MSNBC or on Fox or on this and that. No, in Rumble, it could be, you could actually tell it like it is. But anyway, with that being said, that was a nice move. What is William saying? Thanks for that Rumble tip. Beauty from Long Island. There you go. I don't like calling these things tips. Tips, it's not a tip. It's a strategy and it's a setup. Save tips for your waiter. And I'm a big tipper. You say I'm a tipper. What was that from My Blue Heaven? I believe in over tipping. I do. I am an over tipper. But that's at restaurants. I don't give stock market tips. I give thoughts and I give narratives, and then you have to have a process to approach them. Anyway, what else? What could be moving this week? We'll see. I don't think Tesla's gonna all of a sudden make a huge move. But actually, if you think about this is the weekly chart. I made some good money. It's holding above the 2021 highs. You did get some exciting move all the way up to what? That was 488, and now it's building here. So I think Tesla's letting the moving averages catch up. If you remember, right around here, I'm like, if we get through 271, we're going to see 297. If we get through 375, 414 is going to be a magnet. What a move. Now we break it back down to the daily chart, and the daily chart is holding 417. So I did reduce Tesla. And if you remember last week, we made money selling 510 calls, 540 calls. I even bought the TSLQ first time ever, kind of like when I did that with Mr. And PS made some money. And then I did rebuy some Tesla stock. I have some today. Nice inside action, holding around the 8-day, while lots of other names have been already tipped for a prompt service. Yeah, the 80 lines is still bad. So you want to keep yourself intact. You don't want to overstep or get over your skis. But you also, when things are moving around and the setup's there and it's defined, you take it. And yesterday I sold some Tesla into strength. I bought some back. It was a decent trade. I actually did pretty good with Meta. Remember, guys, yesterday I told you Meta I think could get back towards 602. I bought calls yesterday. I think around 11 o'clock for $2 and was able to sell them for $4. It wasn't even an earnings play, So anyway, now what? Maybe this can get into this this inside level here. Amazon, kind of hanging out here. Nothing so special. I like names that are tight, that are ready to break out and go. And this looks like a range trade. Apple wound up letting me out. Remember, I told you guys yesterday that on Friday I shorted a little Apple for the rebalance. It did go red, and you could have made peanuts. And I went long Tesla, so that was a nice little long short trade. And now the only person in Apple is my son Chase. Chase he bought it during the pandemic. We were in the high school parking lot and opened up his Robinhood account, and the first thing he bought was Apple, and that was like 104. You guys remember that? Remember when he bought Apple? But anyway, yeah, China names are doing pretty well. I am long some FXI calls. If you guys remember, I bought FXI calls in here and I sold over half into that big move. And right on this candle, I started buying some back again. So I do think China is doing pretty well. Not pretty well, just it's a trade. It's kind of like a January effect trade. So I focus on that. I bought some BABA calls, decent candle yesterday. I don't get excited about BABA because BABA is such a tease. If I had $1 for every time someone said, "Oh, I'm buying BABA," I'd have a lot of dollars, but I would have lost a lot of money trading. Anyway, I am in some BABA. So what do you guys want to see what China's doing? China! Everyone loves when I do that. That makes me laugh. Anyway, so FXI is up a bit. What's BABA doing? Let's see. BABA up $1.18. Okay, a little bit of follow through. What else do I have there? I have a little NEO. Yeah. So these are my 3 China trades, going into January 17th. So we'll see. But again, I'm kind of spread out. That's more in the January effect type camp. You have a lot of these drone stocks that are still working that people on my alpha team are making good money with. They like this UMAC. Had a nice move yesterday. Probably could work its way back towards highs. Had a quick move, got tight, continued. You're an XPEV. Yeah, my brother's an XPEV too. He keeps saying, "Ooh, that's kind of tight." That's something to look at. Maybe if China continues, this looks better than NEO, to be honest. I'm not doing work. I don't know which EV is better than the other EV. I just remember you have a few of these Chinese EVs, and when they want to go, this is one of them. So this is a good setup. I think you could take a look at this if you want a China name. Thoughts on Mexico? A lot of my friends are there on vacation, and hopefully they don't get kidnapped. No, I'm kidding. You want me to look at the EWW? I'll look at the EWW for you. Broken. Nobody. I don't know. Doesn't seem like there's anything going on here. Maybe you get a broken bounce, but the narrative around Mexico is not great, to be honest. I listen. Nothing against Mexicans. We won't go that way. Anyway, IBIT, not great. I did buy a little bit near the close. Crypto is a momentum sector. When momentum's strong, it moves just as fast as a Tesla, and it could get you. It could reward you. It could break out of levels. It could look really good. But when it breaks, you can't have too much of it. If you have too much of it, like anything else, you can get hurt. I do think Bitcoin is an asset allocation over the next 10 years. Every month, put a small amount in, just like gold. If you're an asset allocator, and if you trade for a living, you better be aware. First of all, we've been in it since the turkey trot. That's when we started the Bitcoin. Remember the turkey? Tommy handed it off to Santa, and we were at 100,000 before Santa. It's not even Christmas. Tomorrow's Christmas. We got to 108. So anyway, got there sooner than later. So anyway, the IBIT did get to 61.75. So you sell strength. I did trim a little bit, and then when we broke this spot, I'm like, you know what? I'm out of my IBIT active swing long. I'm now just going to let it figure out levels and buy dips and trade around it. So anyway, this is in no man's land. It doesn't look good. I'm only in small, and I'm going to give it time. Mr. also, everyone's talking about how awesome Mr. is. They started talking about how awesome it is up here before. But anyway, I'm not going to get into it. Mr.'s been awesome. A lot of people made a lot of money, but also a lot of people who don't know how to trade these things got their clocks cleaned. I remember on this day we had the reversal, and then you have 3 days where everyone was so excited and they sold strength, and then we broke this, kind of accelerated trend line, and now trying to figure out, kind of hang in here and then rebuild above the 50-day. Seems like it. We'll see. The miners are tough. Like the miners and these names are really hard. When everyone's short and no one's expecting it, they have big moves, and when everybody wants to buy a dip and they think it'll be reset up, it's a pain in the butt. Like even Wolf, like we did really well with Wolf. I did it here. Remember, we had so much fun. The Wolf, that was right here is when I was really hyper focused on the Wolf. It went 100%. And then up here, looked like it was going to go. It didn't look like it was going to go, and then that happens. These things are it's tough money sometimes. What about DJT? I'm not trading DJT. When I won, when I was on Fox Business with Liz Clayman and Charlie Gasparino, and there was election day, and they're like, "What do you think?" We're hearing that there's going to be no president for a week or two. I said, "Well, I'm hearing it's going to be a landslide for Trump." They're like, "What do you buy?" I'm like, "Bitcoin and Tesla." They're like, "What about DJT?" I'm like, I don't know. I don't even know what's going to happen there. Like, can you be a CEO of a company and president? Like, there's so much weird things. So anyway, hopefully you didn't buy it into the election. If you did, it did absolutely nothing. But if you bought Tesla and you bought Bitcoin, it did great. And then if you bought UAWS, which is where Donald's son is on the board, that's also doing pretty well. But anyway, I don't trade this thing. It's I don't understand it, and it just it's kind of what's the word, predatory. Oh, Oxy. Oxy was one of my January effect plays. Um, just thinking that Buffett, one of the few names he's accumulating versus selling it. He's selling his Bank of America, he's selling his Apple, he's selling a lot of things, and he's accumulating this. So it doesn't mean it's going to make you money, but I started buying in here all the way down, so I made a little bit of money back, and now we'll see if I do think the energy sector itself could be a place for the January effect for January, February. So if you want to play like the dogs of the Dow and you want to buy these things that have been absolutely annihilated, Oxy could be one, and then my friends who have funds in Puerto Rico really like Valaris. So, but it doesn't show you anything here. There's been no day one, no nothing, no breaking of this descending channel all the way down. So, it's not really doing a whole hell of a lot. Oh, Merry Christmas to you. Yeah. Someone said, why am I in GameStop? Every now and then the stock provides opportunity. It looks pretty tight here. Again, after Rumble had 100% move because Tether made an investment or they were looking to buy Bitcoin. I know GME has a lot of money. They've done a lot of ATMs. They haven't said a word. Either these guys are, sleeping behind the wheel, or something's going to happen soon where it feels like, that could be one more move here. So I have some options, a little bit of stock. So just keep an eye on it. It's going to have to get above like 32-ish with real like volume, like crazy volume, for it to have one of those, fun moves that pay over the holidays. So, sometimes it likes to go on a week like this. So far, it's not there this morning though. Anyway, how can you be a CEO and a president? I don't know. I'm talking about Trump. Musk is not Musk is just an advisor. He could do whatever he wants. Trump is going to be the president of the United States, and there's a few little things that he might have to give up, but who knows? I don't know. I'm not that smart. Someone else had another question for the Red Dog. For the Red Dog, Boozy. Yeah, Boozy is also a name that's been trending. Look at that. Trend, active sequence. Look at the day 1, day 2, day 3. You always trim on a day 4 so you can buy a dip, and look at that move. I don't know exactly where it goes, but these are the glasses. I did watch Zuckerberg's interview about smart glasses, and I have the Meta glasses, and they're awesome. You can say, hey, Meta, take a video. It just takes a video right from your glasses, and it's pretty good quality. Hey, Meta, take a picture. Hey, Meta, who's coming? It's pretty cool. And I'm sure there'll be other features, and they look like Ray-Ban glasses. So not like the Google glasses that were like crazy, but anyway. Someone asked me about Microsoft. I haven't looked at Microsoft in a week. Microsoft, it's just, gave you a little sequence here, and then that day change, and not much of a bounce back. So there's not a whole lot going on in Microsoft. I think Google's been acting a little bit better. What's Google doing? Yeah. Google gave you a quick move that nobody was really expecting, but remember how tight it was there? You had a gap. Some guys were long versus 181. Little red dog reversal sell. It reclaimed it here. It's doing a little bit better. NVIDIA was really good though. NVIDIA, I've played very well. Made a lot of money in NVIDIA in the past 2 weeks, even though it's in this range. We bought remember the options here, bought options there, came along the last few days here, and I actually sold my NVIDIA into this because, again, to me, this is just kind of a range trade. And then every now and then it turns into a momentum trade. Right now, it's been a range trade since earnings, right? Got above and failed, lower high. So will this be a lower high? We'll see. What's it doing this morning? NVIDIA is it's down 28 cents. So I would say for this active sequence to continue, you probably want to see NVIDIA hold above this 135-ish. Let it rebuild to continue. So go step by step, trade by trade here. What are you guys talking to me about here? NVDX, yes. MLD, thank you for the 630 Club. It's the best thing in FinTwit by a million miles. I love to hear it. Just wait till you see 28520 coming out in 2025. I'm having a whole new product line. So you get a little bit of the Red Dog in the raw. Get your mind right in the morning. So if you could execute on these X's and O's, but you'll see how that goes. With that said, though, it is 6:50. I want to say, from my house to your house, have a very Merry Christmas. Enjoy yourself. Have some fitness, finance, not fitness and finance. I'm kidding. That's not on Christmas. On Christmas, it's family and friends and fun and food. I'll tell you right now, I hate to say it, I feel like I'm a fat bastard right now. I'm eating and drinking too much. So come January, the first week of January, I am starting a 90-day challenge where I am going to not drink beer, wine, no bread, no chips, no French fries, and I'm going to go from like 190 to 175. So we're going to do it together. So if you're with me and you want to start a cool diet and sweat a little bit and go in an ice barrel, there's going to be a vehicle for you to do that. And then we're going to also fast on Mondays. So we're going to make sure we could train our brain for good things and test ourselves and build our self-esteem. That's what I'm doing. I can't wait. But tonight I'll probably have some red wine. I'll have a little bit of baked ziti and maybe some garlic butter mozzarella and continue to sweat it out. But come January, boom, Red Dog's going, Red Dog in the Raw. So if you want to get it done, get it done. We'll all get it done together. Anyway, good luck today. I won't be in tomorrow. Tomorrow's Christmas. I'll be in Thursday and Friday. And my report will be coming out soon. So if you're looking for that, it'll be out before the end of the year. Have a good one today, guys. Good luck. Trim and trail.